We just hit 1,000 subscribers, so that means it's time for a studio tour. Hey everyone, welcome into Jar's Toy Emporium. My name is Jacob, and it's been a little while since we've done a longer form video. Now, if you guys weren't familiar, I'm actually in the process of moving, so things have been a little bit hectic as to why we've only been getting a lot of short form content on the channel and not too much long form content. But even during this entire process, I've been able to keep uploading some shorts, and we recently just passed 1,000 subscribers, which is such an awesome milestone. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys have given to the channel. But before we moved, before anything, I figured with the 1,000 subscribers special, I think it's time that we do a little bit of a studio tour. Now, my studio is not massive by any means, but it is very special to me. This is where I started my channel. This is where I recorded my very first video, and it's taken some different forms over the course of the last couple years. However, this has been the form that I have liked the most. It's the most put together, the most neat, and the best way to see a large part of my collection. So, without further ado, let's flip this camera around and let's check out some of the studio. So when you first walk in the studio, you are greeted with a few shelves full of Funko Pops. Now, this is probably my favorite form that this room has ever taken on. You can see a lot of the collection through here, which is really, really cool and something that I really appreciate. As we come around the corner here, I do have this light on just because the lighting in here isn't that great. As you guys can see, I just had to bolt one of these kind of like garage lights in here because this room actually didn't have a standard ceiling light. So I did that, and it actually has done a really good job and helped a lot with the collection and being able to see it and all that cool stuff. Now, if we turn around here to the corner, here's a pretty empty shelf. Now, like I said, we are in the process of moving, so this was a lot more full than it was as is now. But you guys can see we just have some random totes. We have some of our complete in-box gaming systems, the Ninja Turtle Funko skateboard, some hats, just some random stuff in there. And then we actually have some sports cards from when I used to collect those back in the day up in the top there. But that's not really what you guys care too much about, just kind of some random assortment of stuff. This is probably one of my favorite spots in the whole room, is this little art corner. Now, it doesn't have a whole lot to it, and I wish I could have done more with it in the time that I had. But it was just kind of thrown together, but I do still really like it. I love this LED light that my wife got me. And if you're wondering what the I Am Jar is, that is actually my Twitch name. I actually do stream video games, as you guys can see here. Big time gamer. So that is my Twitch name. If you guys wanted to go check me out on twitch.tv/IamJar, feel free to do that. But just a random little corner here, which I think is really cool. Now, right here, I actually do keep some of my hats. I have a lot more hats than this, but these are just kind of the ones that I keep on display. This one is actually from Hawaii when I went there on my honeymoon. It says aloha. It's just a pretty basic hat, but I think it's pretty cool. This is from the Papawaka Lumberjacks, which is San Diego Comic-Con last year. And I really hope this year with the Pirates Voyage stuff that we get more hats. I love that they did that last year, and hopefully we get some more because those were really cool. But just some random hats and stuff like that. Again, here is the gaming setup, and I wish I could say that it's not normally this messy, but it is definitely normally this messy most of the time. Now, as you guys can see, we have started packing a little bit already. There's only 2 monitors up right now. You can see there was supposed to be one right there, but it's just my face cam for the time being. We do have a lamp over there that I turn on when I am streaming, so you guys can see my face a little bit better and it's not so dark. But overall, just a pretty basic setup right now. It'll look a lot better once we get everything set back up in the studio. We do have an Xbox Series X, we have a PlayStation 5, and then we have a really awesome gaming computer. So I've been very lucky to have a really cool setup. We have some controllers there, just some random stuff. I actually have some minifigures right there just sitting around, but you know, it's messy. It's messy. It's always messy. So I'm not even going to act like it's not. We will move over here to this side of the desk though, and this is actually where I keep some of my completed Lego sets just because I think they're cool. I didn't really have anywhere else to display them, so they have kind of sat here. We have my Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition statue, which I love. That thing is super cool. Master Chief action figure, an old vintage Leonardo action figure, which is super cool from the Ninja Turtles. Some Biddy Pops, a random Thor Funko Mystery Mini that's not a Mystery Mini, a picture of me and my wife. But like I said, just overall some random Lego sets right here. Now over here in this corner, this is actually just a random little corner shelf. We have some Hot Wheels up on top. I do collect a little bit of Hot Wheels, but only certain cars like GTRs. GTRs are my dream car, so I collect those when I see them, stuff like that. We have some more minifigures right here, just some random ones that I've had on display. Little Republic tank back there, pretty cool. And then one of my favorite things Funko has done recently is Star Wars Rivals. Now, this game is super cool. It's super fun. If you haven't played it, definitely give it a shot. But what does irritate me a little bit about this game is this right here. Funko has made an Asajj Ventress in Star Wars Rivals form. So we need a Funko Pop, but I'm not going to get on that rant. This is supposed to be a studio tour, not a rant, so we'll set that right back down there. Just some random little stuff. That's actually a little piggy bank, which I love that Boba Fett piggy bank. Little model car down there. Again, just some random stuff in that corner. Now, down there on the floor, those are actually from Galaxy's Edge at Disney World. If you go there, you can buy some drinks like Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. And those actually are like thermal detonators from Star Wars, which I think is really cool. We'll start down here on the bottom again. Just some random Lego sets that I have not had a chance to build. As you guys can see, lots of the helmets, which I love. I'm super excited to get those built. That'll be super fun. Just random pops throughout these shelves. I do try to keep them kind of, the word is, I guess, organized in a sense. You guys can see Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Spider-Man again. Most of these boxes are all going to match with the exception of a few if I don't have enough for them and stuff like that. But like you guys can see here, there's like some of these Star Wars comic covers and then some of the Freddy Funko rides. I don't have much else to put on this shelf, so it kind of just stays like that for the most part. Here's My Hero Academia shelf, which I hate that this one is kind of in the corner over here. That is something that's definitely going to change when we get in the new studio, but just some of my favorite pops that I've gotten from that line. Obviously, you guys know how excited I was about the Invincible pops, so these are right here. We got Ahsoka. We have some of the Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem pops, which I love the box art on these. They are so colorful. They pop so good. Those are awesome. More Ninja Turtles here. I do know we're getting some Ninja Turtles in the form of Masters of the Universe, so I hope they do a full set like this, kind of like they did with Power Rangers, because I think that'd be really neat. Some of the OG Turtle stuff right through here, which is kind of cool. We do have a Last Ronin comic cover, and then just a couple of grails that I kind of like to keep out on display. Captain Rex, Mandalorian as Freddy Funko as the Mandalorian, Han Solo, Darth Maul, my favorite Spider-Man pop, and probably my favorite Marvel pop. If you guys saw that short, you know what I'm talking about. And then the Freddy Funko as Eddie Munson NFT set, which I absolutely love that pop. It is so good. We have a couple action figures. The Last Ronin, there's a Captain Rex, Greedo right there, and then a 3-pack, which is pretty cool. Just pretty generic stuff over on all these shelves, really. As you guys can see, I usually like to keep some of these bigger sets, some of these Build-A-Scene pops up on the top shelves here. So you can see we have the Sinister Six here, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Bounty Hunters collection, the Avengers Assemble, and then the Red Saber series. And we also do have the Duel of the Fates set right here. So I think those look really good. Again, when we get in the new studio, I'm hoping to actually take those out and actually be able to build them and actually have them displayed rather than displayed in box like they are up there. But moving over to these ones, we have some Star Wars, the Clone Wars stuff, starting off with our Star Wars set, one of my favorite ones. Now, this one probably gets the most attention when people come over to visit, if they are Star Wars fans, is the Star Wars Rebels line. I do have every Rebels pop with the exception of the original Grand Admiral Thrawn. I still need that one, and maybe one day we'll pick that one up. For right now, I'm very happy with this set here. I think it looks really, really cool, so I love having these out. And then the Funko Pops that started it all for me are the Mandalorian pops right here. So clearly I have to keep those on display because I just absolutely love them. It means a lot to me, and I think they fit really well on the Star Wars shelf. And I know I have some Star Wars pops over here, but maybe we'll switch some stuff up in the future. But for now, that is kind of the Star Wars shelf. And then down here, we do have a few random gaming systems like the Wii, the PS3. I don't know what's back there. There's some other stuff. The Wii U's back there. Maybe the PS4 and then the Xbox 360. Just some random stuff. And then we will go ahead and start right down here. We do have some random video games right here. Just some boxed ones, but not too much special there. Now, this is the Marvel shelf, as you guys can see. Again, Guardians of the Galaxy at top. Spider-Man No Way Home here. A lot of people really like this shelf as well. I think it's a really cool one. Fantastic Four. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And then this is actually my Venomized shelf. Now, as you guys can see, there are no pops behind any of these pops on display right now. They have already all been taken down and put away for the move. But I did keep these ones out so you guys could see what the studio generally looks like. So those Venomized pops, I don't have two more to complete a whole shelf, but these ones are actually bought by my wife. She is the only person that's allowed to buy those for me is my wife, because that's how she keeps up with which ones I have and which ones I don't have, so she can actually surprise me with presents, which I think is really sweet. But we have some really cool ones down here. I love the Venomized pops. I think they look so cool, so these are some of my favorites. Again, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. You guys kind of get the idea. This is kind of just a random box corner. As you guys can see, we just kind of keep some random stuff here. There's my Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition box, some of the humongous jumbo Funko Pops. We have Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Just a couple board games and just, like I said, random stuff. We have PS4 controller boxes, a Funko mystery box that I thought was cool, and then these are actually some mystery minis. So just random stuff over there that I keep there. And then last but certainly not least, this is like my overflow shelf, I guess I could call it. Just kind of random stuff that gets thrown over here. We do have the Sinister Six set up top, but Argyle and Pizzel Van, Leonardo and their Turtle Van, just, you know, some brick heads. Really random stuff through here. There's actually my Pop myself, Freddie Funko as Casey Jones. We have Ahsoka from Star Wars Rebels, Freddie Funko as Mysterio. Just some super random stuff. And again, down here, this is actually all of my sodas, which I don't have a huge soda selection, but that's where I do keep all the ones that I do have. Now, I know that was a pretty quick run through of my studio, but for the most part, it is pretty tiny. There's really not a whole lot going on in here, but it is something that I really love, and I'm very thankful that I was able to build this collection that I have, because I think it is absolutely perfect. It is, you know, more than I could ever deserve or imagine to have. And again, I just want to thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. That is absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough. But again, that was just kind of a quick run through of the studio. I figured before it really got torn down, before the move, which is actually happening in a couple of days, so I really got to get to work. I really got to get these pops taken down and put away. But this is kind of a quick overview so you guys can get an idea of where I've been working in, what I've been doing, and how I do it. And I hope this kind of motivates some of you guys that maybe don't have the biggest space. You guys can see this room isn't that big, but I was able to do a lot in this room. And I think that's really cool that you can really do whatever you want with whatever space you do have. I mean, this collection has started with one pop, and now it's all of this, and it's fit perfectly in this room. Surely it's a little messy in some places, but it is mine, and I do love it. And I think it's really cool that you guys can have that kind of example maybe that I could set for you all. You don't need some giant warehouse. You don't need a whole, you know, house, a whole building, a whole floor of a building. You don't need any of that. If you just have a small room or even just a corner of your house, right, you can make something special happen. And I think that is a prime example of what this studio has been for me. Now, I am super thankful that my wife allows me to have a whole room, which is really, really cool, but it's fantastic. This has been probably something I'll never forget. I'll never forget this room for what it's done for me and what I've been able to do in it, how much I've grown. I mean, we got to 1,000 subscribers in this room, which is absolutely insane. So that is so cool. Again, thank you guys for that. But this is my studio. It's special to me. It'll always be special to me. And while it did take on some different forms throughout the years, this was the one that I feel like really solidified the channel. That, you know, I had a really good background with all these pops. It made me happy to come in here, and this was by far my favorite version that this room ever had. Now, I'm going to try to do a better job in the next studio that we're getting ready to build, and I'm super pumped for that. It's going to look really, really cool. I'm going to try to do a better job of updating you guys throughout that entire process, you know, whether that means we fixed one shelf. I'm going to show you guys that. Whether it's in short form or long content form, I'm going to try to show you guys everything we do in that next room, because I think there's a lot of potential, and I think that would be really fun for you guys to kind of grow the room with me. So that's something I wish I would have done a little bit better in this room, was when it went through its different forms. I wish I would have documented it for you guys, but overall, this was the best form it was ever in, and I'm going to try to do a better job of that in the future. So if you guys did enjoy this studio tour, let me know down in the comment section below if that's something you guys would be interested in, watching the next studio kind of come to life. Because we're going to leave this room, it's going to be empty. And we're going to go into another empty room, and we're going to have to build it from the ground up, just like we did this one. So let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Again, we are now on the journey to 2,000 subscribers, which I can't believe I'm saying that. That's absolutely insane. But let me know, would you guys like to see some of that studio building content? It's content that I thoroughly enjoy myself. I love watching other people build their content or build their studios up. So let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. But again, this is my studio. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and I cannot wait to see where this future channel goes and what we're going to do in the next studio. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.